Have you ever found yourself scrolling through social media, staring at the seemingly perfect lives of others? Everyone appears to be winning new jobs, new relationships, exotic travels, endless success. And there you are, feeling stuck, tired, and lost. Have you ever whispered to yourself, "Why does life never seem to work out for me?" If that feels familiar, then you need to hear Arjun's story. Arjun was 29 years old, broke and drowning in a sea of self-doubt. He had big dreams, but every time he started something, the familiar enemies of fear and excuses would creep in, forcing him to give up halfway. It was a cycle of starting and stopping, a pattern he couldn't seem to break. One night, after yet another rejection email, something inside him shattered. He looked in the mirror, and the reflection staring back was of someone who had simply stopped believing in himself. Tears welled up in his eyes as a soft, defeated whisper escaped his lips. "Maybe I'm just not meant for more." But as he switched off the light, ready to surrender to the darkness, an old voice echoed in his memory. It was his father, from years ago, saying, "Son, the world doesn't change when you cry. It changes when you decide to see it differently." Those words ignited a spark in his soul. That night, lying in the dark, Arjun made a quiet but powerful promise to himself. "Tomorrow," he vowed, "I'll change just one thing. Not my life, not my job, but my mindset." He didn't know it yet, but that single, simple decision was about to change everything. The next morning, Arjun woke up before sunrise. The world was still and quiet, and for the first time in years, so was his heart. He opened a notebook and wrote down 3 simple lines. "I'm still alive. I can still change. My past doesn't define my future." That day, he didn't chase success or money. He chased awareness. He started paying attention to the constant stream of negative thoughts that ran through his mind. He noticed how quickly he would tell himself, "I can't do that." But this time, instead of letting that thought take root, he stopped it in its tracks. He stood up and said aloud, "No, I can. I will." At first, people around him didn't get it. Some even laughed at his sudden shift, but Arjun just smiled. For the first time, he wasn't trying to prove them wrong. He was trying to prove himself right. Just 3 days into his mindset shift, the universe decided to test him. Old habits resurfaced with a vengeance. He found himself getting angry over small things. Doubt crept back in, and the urge to quit felt overwhelming. But this time was different. He didn't run from the feeling. He paused, took a deep, grounding breath, and whispered, "Old thoughts built the old me. New thoughts will build the new me." He was beginning to understand that changing your life isn't about luck. It's about recognizing and breaking your old patterns. Every single time you choose a different thought, you are actively rewriting your own story. That night, instead of complaining about his day, he found one thing to be thankful for. Slowly but surely, gratitude began to replace the anger that had lived in his heart for so long. On the 5th day, something remarkable happened. Arjun was on the train and noticed an old man completely absorbed in a worn-out book. The title read, "The Mind is Everything." Overcome with curiosity, Arjun leaned over and asked, "Excuse me, sir, do you really believe that?" The old man looked up and the warm smile spread across his face. "Young man," he said, "I don't just believe it, I've lived it. Your life is a mirror of your mindset. The day you stop saying, 'I can't,' is the day you truly start living as 'I can.'" Those words hit Arjun like a lightning bolt. He finally understood. The people who succeed aren't always smarter or luckier. They simply think differently. From that day on, Arjun made a conscious effort to feed his mind positivity. He started reading inspiring books, journaling his thoughts, and most importantly, speaking kindly to himself. The chaos inside him slowly began to transform into a quiet, steady peace. Weeks turned into months. Arjun's daily routine looked completely different. He was waking up early, exercising, and smiling more. He found joy in helping others without expecting anything in return. He hadn't become rich or famous, but he had gained something far more valuable: self-respect. When old friends mocked his newfound optimism, he would just laugh and say, "That's okay. I used to think like you, too." He had learned one of life's most profound truths. You can't control the storm outside, but you can always control the sail of your ship. And that sail is your mindset. The biggest war you will ever fight is not with the world outside. It's the one that rages inside your own mind. Think about it. When you're faced with moments of failure, rejection, or humiliation, what is your first instinct? To run? To hide? The real shift begins when you learn to breathe through them. Every time you face your fear head-on, it loses a piece of its power. Every time you run away, it just grows stronger. Changing your mindset isn't some magical overnight fix. It's about repetition. It's about the small, consistent acts you perform daily that literally rewire the neural pathways in your brain. Arjun started sticking post-it notes all over his room. Little reminders that said, gratitude over greed, progress over perfection, discipline is freedom. These weren't just words. They were the building blocks of his new reality. He also learned a tough but necessary lesson. When you change your mindset, you will outgrow people who choose to stay small. It's painful, but you have to let them go. Your inner peace is always worth more than their approval. Months later, Arjun applied for another job. This time, he walked into the interview not with fear, but with a quiet confidence. He spoke from his heart, with passion and purpose. When the call came offering him the position, he didn't shout with joy. Instead, he cried tears of pure gratitude. Because the real victory wasn't getting the job. The victory was in the person he had become to get it. He realized that life hadn't suddenly become easier. He had simply become stronger. The world outside him had changed because the world inside him had finally healed. Years later, Arjun stood on a stage, sharing his story with a crowd of people who were right where he once was lost, broken, and hopeless. He looked out at them and said, "Your mindset is the foundation of your destiny. If you want to change your life, you have to stop asking, 'Why is this happening to me?' and start asking, 'What can I learn from this?'" He continued, "I changed nothing about my external circumstances at first, yet everything in my life transformed. Why? Because I changed me." He paused, letting the weight of his words sink in. The most powerful transformation doesn't happen when you fix your life. It happens when you fix your thoughts. You don't need to change your face, your job, or your past. Change your perception, and your entire life will begin to rearrange itself around you. The proof of a changed mindset isn't in what you say, it's in the peace you feel and the calm you bring to others. It's in that moment you can look at yourself in the mirror, smile, and whisper with genuine conviction, "I'm proud of you." That tear that falls isn't from pain, but from pride. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. And when your mind is ready, the world opens doors you never even knew existed. Start today. Change one thought. And watch how everything begins to change with it. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more content that can help you transform your life from the inside out. We'll see you in the next one.